Hi everyone, this is the second video of the Gangstalker Psychology series, which I have named Security. Now, I have associated security with the Gangstalker's tactic of nullification. That's the second stage of Gangstalking. Now, when we think of security, we normally think of, safety locks and burglar alarms and smoke alarms, like in a real physical sense. In another sense, we usually think of loved ones that we can call upon if there's an emergency, or people that can back us up if we have an argument with somebody. The third level of security, which is a bit less literal, we think of the money. We think that the more money we have, the more safe we are from homelessness, from, or destitution. The more we feel secure from people who will potentially attack us, all that kind of thing. So the more money we have in the bank, the more secure we feel we are. And that's to do with dominance, but that's another video. So those are the three things that we usually associate with security. Now, the gang stalking tactic of nullification revolves around invalidating the target. So it's not like calling the target a piece of shit or anything else. That's kind of saved for the third stage. The nullification stage is where all the gaslighting happens. It's where all the subtle taunts happen, so it makes you think you're crazy or something. It's where you get the break-ins and people messing around with your stuff, so your stuff's not where you left it, so you start to wonder, oh, am I going mad because I swear I put it there? All that kind of thing. So that's the nullification stage, making you doubt yourself and making you insecure. Now, the gang stalkers do try to fuck with your finances. We call that money draining. The gang stalkers do penetrate your security. They penetrate the locks. They put hidden cameras in the smoke alarms. They do that to everybody, actually, not just targeted individuals. And they hire the people that you are close to monitor and covertly harass you. So yes, they do threaten with your security in a physical sense. But when you're a targeted individual, you begin to realize that you can always get material resources. You can always get a support system. You can even always get money. It might not be in the same way or in the same capacity, but all it takes is the right place and the right time for you to be able to get back on your feet. And I know it's a really, really patronizing thing to say to TIs, like, oh, you just need to smile more. But there are TIs that are homeless, TIs that are literally homeless, and they've still been able to upload videos and put it online. Do you understand what I mean? There are targeted individuals that are broke, that have nothing. They're still able to get their stories out, and they're still able to get the support from other TIs that they're looking for. They're still able to get money from one place to another. They're still able to get material resources from one place to another. So no, it's not in the same capacity as before. But when you live in a relatively rich country, even though it's on the decline now, when you live in a relatively rich country and you have, even if you don't have a positive mindset, one way or another, something will always fall into your lap. It's not going to be in the same way, but it's going to be something you can use. That's what you learn as a TI. As a TI, you learn not to place your emotional worth into these things that we think make us feel safe. We learn not to do that, okay? And we instead learn that it is not our security that is being attacked. It is not our physical security that is being attacked, because the gang stalkers can't attack that. I'm going to say it again. The gang stalkers cannot attack your physical safety. They can't attack your physical security. And I'm not saying they can't harm you. That's not what I'm saying. They can harm you. But in order for them to ultimately threaten your physical security on a real level, they would have to kill you. That's how deep this is. That's how deep this is. If you are not dead, you will always be looked after. Even if somebody comes around and tries to hurt you, you're going to end up in a hospital, you're going to have your wounds treated, and you're going to be healed one way or another. Like I said, not in the same capacity, never in the same capacity, but you will always be healed and you will always be looked after. So spirit has got you covered. There is nothing that, you know, there is nothing that you can't get. Even as these people try to run you into the ground, there's nothing you can't get. If they want to take away your security, they would have to kill you. That is the only way that you are not going to be secure anymore, is if you're dead. So ultimately it comes down to emotional feelings of security, what we attach our emotions to. And what we attach our emotions to is what gives us our sense of self. It's not the things in front of us that give us our sense of self. It's what we attach our sense of self to. Do you understand what I mean? And physically, we attach our sense of self to three things. We attach our sense of self to material resources, routine, and the usefulness of the material things that we've accumulated. What personal uses they have to us. Now, when we think about uses, it's not necessarily just services as they can clean and stuff like that. It might be, you know, they give you a sense, you know, they make you feel physically good, emotionally good. Could be that. Do you understand what I mean? So the gang stalkers attack our emotional feelings of security. And we can attach those emotional feelings of security to anything. Do you understand what I mean? Things like this differ according to the person. So that's how they know where to attack you, and that's how they know how to make you what? Insecure. And making you insecure, okay, all right, let me just backtrack. A lot of people think that the material plane is where it's at. Sorry for the spittle. A lot of people think that the material plane is where it's at. And that the material plane is the end of the conversation. It is the result of the work that you've done. This is true and this is not true. When you're a baby and you come into this world, what are you seeing? You're not seeing the emotional world. You're not seeing souls everywhere. When you come into the world, you come into a physical world. The physical world is where you learn, is where you discover things. You use it to discover. You use it to learn. You use it to grow. You use it to gain knowledge. If it wasn't the case, then why would we all be products of our environment then? That's what the material world is here for. It's here to help us learn. It's not here to end the conversation. It's here to help us learn what works, what doesn't, what we like, what we don't, all that kind of thing. So I don't know if you know about The Secret. A lot of TIs hate The Secret for obvious reasons. But if you know about The Secret, you will know that what we feel, we get. Now, that's not necessarily true. We learn what we like through our bodily responses to those things that we get. You know, that's how we learn what we like and what we don't. Do you understand what I mean? So while our emotions can manifest our physical reality, the truth of the matter is that the physical reality is the base, not the top. That's why it's like, you know, a lot of people that focus on material things, Dr. Cornel West said, you know, those people are often quite immature because they think that they're still stuck on that level where you are supposed to be discovering things. They're stuck on that level. They're not progressing beyond that level. Do you understand what I mean? And I'm rambling, sorry. But the physical space is where we learn what we like and what we don't like. So what this has to do with gang stalking is that through the physical realm, we learn what we like, which kind of leads to our greatest joy, and what we don't like, which is what we base our greatest truths on. Yeah? So the way gangstalking works is that they minimize and attack the things that you like, and they intensify the things that you don't like, to the point where it creates a switch in your brain and redefines your reality. Now, when you're a targeted individual, it takes strength not to get Stockholm syndrome for everything that you've suffered. Because when you are repeatedly, what you like about yourself and what you like about other people and what you like about the things that are around you are continually attacked or criticized, and then on the other hand, the things that you don't like are being intensified and repeated upon you, it really messes with your sense of self, and it really throws you into a weird space, and it makes you think, well, maybe I'm wrong for not liking it, or maybe I'm wrong for thinking that this is the truth and that this is how things should be and that this is... Do you understand what I mean? It messes with your sense of reality. It clouds your judgment, clouds your sense of self, clouds your inner security. If you're not allowed to find your deepest joy and you find the things that you don't like being continually hammered to the point where you doubt yourself, that's nullification, invalidation. The invalidation of a target starts with attacking the target's sense of self. Because if you doubt your own self, how is anybody going to believe you're being abused? It's a tactic that abusers use all the time. They give you what you like in sporadic, in sporadic fashion, or as a way of an apology for the latest fuckery that they committed. So it makes the abused think, oh, maybe they are a good person because, they are a good... It makes you think they're a good person, but the reason why you think they're a good person is because they repeatedly hammered you with the things that you don't like over and over and over and over. And they made you think that their reality, and in doing so, they made you think that their reality was the true reality. That's what gaslighting does to you. That's what harassment does to you. That's what the mini vandalism does to you. It redefines your reality. Or at least that's what they attempt to do. They attempt to redefine your reality, redefine your personal truth, and redefine what matters to you. Now, the only way that, the gang stalkers can't hurt you is that, if you're supposed to remain neutral. You're supposed to not show emotion one way or the other. Do you know what I mean? In order for them not to try and attack the things you like and to try and intensify the things you don't, you're supposed to walk around like a zombie, not showing any emotion. Now, I have a problem with this, because if you do that just to stop gang stalkers from trying to take something away from you, then it means that they've won, because it means that they are ultimately controlling what you do and how you feel and how you respond to things. If you don't like being abused, you don't like being abused. Why the fuck should you hide that? Why should you stop speaking out? Why should you stop doing what you're doing? Because the abusers want you to stay silent because they don't want to deal with their issues. Why should you do it? That's why I have a problem with people who say don't show any emotion, don't show what you like and what you don't, always maintain a neutral mask and they can't hurt you. Oh, fuck that noise. Be authentic. Be 100% you. I said this last time in the anonymity video. You have to be 100% yourself. That is literally your form of protection. Be truthful. And now I'm going to give you the second contingency, the second thing that targeted individuals can do to protect themselves, and that is be loving. Be loving to yourself. And most of all, love the spirit. And when I say the spirit, I'm not talking about deities. Because in the first place, we don't know what deities are. If they are real, we don't know what they are. We don't know what they come from. We don't know who created them. So when I'm talking about spirit, I am not talking about God. I'm not talking about Allah. I'm not even talking about Archangel Michael, even though I work with archangels. I'm not talking about that, because like I said, those archangels could be anything. Those angels could be anything. Those ancestors could be anything. We don't know what they are. So when I say love yourself and love spirit, when I say love spirit, I'm not talking about love the God that is named. I'm talking about loving without a reason. I'm talking about showing love in your heart to everyone around you. Now that doesn't mean you have to stand for bullshit, but it does mean that you have to start from a place of love, from a place of deep love within yourself. That is another way in which you win. Now, I am not perfect. In my tweets and in my Facebook, I have not demonstrated that love for myself or for others that much. But what I can say is that I have learned to love my flaws as well as my strengths. I've learned to love every single part of myself. Every single part. Every single part. Like, I love the good parts and I love the bad parts. I love every single part of myself. And I don't need a fucking reason. I don't need a reason. As a targeted individual, it's like you have been so abused and so hurt that you don't realize that when it comes to stuff like this, you're in a very, very favorable position, because you have no choice but to love yourself. That is a fabulous place to be in. You have no choice, no option but to love everything about yourself. You've got no choice but to look in the mirror and say, you are fucking awesome. You've got no choice. And I love that. I love the fact that I don't have any choice but to love myself. I love it. I love that I don't have any option but to do that. It's a fantastic existence to be in. And no, it's not fantastic to be abused all the time or to be run down all the time, but think about it. Think about where that self-love lifts you to. Think about the wonder that can happen in your life once you turn that love switch on. Think about how much better your life becomes when you love yourself and when you love who you are. That's a fantastic place to be. Whether you're a Tia, it's a fantastic space to be in. Loving yourself, it's wonderful. And as for love for the spirit, what is the spirit? What is it? It's love for the unknown. That's what it is. That's what spirit is. It's the unknown. Because when we think about it, what the fuck is it? Nobody knows. We don't know what it is. We don't know what spirit is. Therefore, it is the unknown. Learn to love the unknown. Learn to love the unpredictable. Embrace it. Let it take you places. Love for yourself and love for the unknown are your best forms of security. The best form of security does not lie in physical things. It in fact lies in the opposite. It lies in what you don't see. It lies in what you don't know. The unknown and yourself are all you have. And if you learn to love and embrace them both, you will always have security, and you will always be protected, and you will always find your way. The Gangstalkers cannot take your love for yourself or your love for the unknown away from you. Just like they can't really take the physical things away from you unless you're dead. They can't take your love of self and your love of the unknown, even when they send you to your grave. That's powerful. That's your form of security. Love yourself and embrace the unknown. And with that, my fellow TIs, I love you. I love you. I don't have to know you. Okay? Stay safe, stay blessed, and love yourself. Love yourself way more than I do. I'm going to set you a challenge, okay? I'm going to set you the challenge to write everything down about yourself and to love yourself more than me, more than I love you, and more than anybody else loves you. Take care now. Goodbye.